It's Ray Give TV.
In the block.
Let's get right to it.
Another episode of the Adam and Wack Show. As you can see, we have assembled a star-studded panel, including two of my favorite hip-hop Caucasians, DJ Vlad and Trap Lord Ross, as well as the biggest Pyru himself, Wack 100, obviously. And then behind us, we got Remo. Academics is on the way. Should be here in like 15, 20 minutes. I don't know where this conversation is going to go, but I guess at least to start, I want to just acknowledge to Wack that something happened right before this whole Fed case, which was Brick Baby and Loose Cannon appearing on the No Jumper show together, which in and of itself would have been the news, the conversation of the week. Pales in comparison a little bit to the Fed case, but how are you feeling seeing Brick and Loose come together like that, seemingly under the auspice of them both having their issues with you? Let's start there.
It was a little fake because what I'm used to hearing is something totally different with that. But Adam, the day a couple weeks ago when I came in talking about Brick got ambushed and Brick called you and I got Loose on the phone. That day when Brick started saying, what? I had my kid, you had your kid too. And I'm like, what is he talking about? He like, yeah, I had my kid too, right? So I'm looking at the phone now. The story you gave me in 600 was totally different. That's the day. And I hope my phone comes on because I'll show you something. One thing I like to do is my thoughts, I'll go on my phone and leave notes. Because when you close it out, it times and dates it. So if I could show you a note that's showing you my thoughts after I see something, it lets you know where I was, right? So sitting back, just listening to it all and following it all, it was like, it been a game being played that didn't even have to be played. You know how like, when you do shit for people, you do it because you want to do it. We all old enough and been in the game long enough to know, do what you want to do, because if it goes bad, know you can live with what you've done for that person, right? So seeing that, it was like, I don't have a problem with it, but it was like everything you heard a person say they was gonna do, and you seeing that, and it's not happening. It's just like, it make you scratch your head and wonder what you're dealing with.
So basically what I'm taking from it, you think that Loose was kind of doing a play that was rooted in his true feelings. Like you felt like he actually was ready to break away from you after all this time that you guys have been super locked in, and he chose to do it by, I mean,
creating a fake beef.
So
you heard it when I called in.
Right.
I don't know what was said prior. Once I called in and started addressing what the issue was, you seen that, hold on, what y'all talked about this, that wasn't there, everything he said was there, it didn't exist, right? So it's like, and it's a little deeper because it's like other things was going on that I had caught on that really wasn't real, right? So I woke up to that.
Because it did seem like if Loose's reason for being done with his friendship with you, if all it took was you believing that his house getting raided in the clip that Sharice, his wife, posted, you casting doubt on that. If that
I still don't believe it.
Right. If that was the entirety of it, that just doesn't seem like a good enough reason for Loose to turn on you.
Okay, let's look at what we
look friendship.
Let's look at what we're looking at now. Things work in mysterious ways. If the SWAT and the feds come to your home and you already on the list to get picked up, why would they let you go?
I mean, he was saying that he was just getting swatted by like a fan.
But it's obvious from what we just saw yesterday, the indictment was signed on the 17th.
But if you get swatted, it's the local police showing up to your house,
Hell
whereas
no.
they got taken down by a federal indictment.
Did you look at that video? Who was involved? Those was negotiators, and you had every agency there.
But it's still going to be local, state people.
No,
right?
hell no. Not when you talking about hostage situations. But whatever it may be, that's just my thought, my belief. So, and what's crazy is my phone. I text him when I seen it and told him I didn't believe it. That morning.
Right. So he could have dealt with it by just giving you a call back and saying, "Hey, bitch, why you saying that?"
But that what it was. He claimed that I let somebody on my clubhouse floor call his wife a bitch. When we went and read the content back, nobody said nothing about his wife. They were talking about R&B.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then when he said, well, what you said, I said, hey, look, bro, if I knew you was in jail, I'm not gonna tell the world you're in jail. You got a lot of enemies. You got a mother over there with a child, right? If I watched you go to jail, I'm not gonna tell the world you in jail. I'm not gonna do it, but I didn't believe it. So what I did was simply played the middle, and I just repeated what his wife said and left it at that. So his thing is, you repeat what my wife said is running content on me. Hey, look, bro, Blueface gang myself. When content come out on me, remote, we run it on my floor, right? So at the end of the day, if you told your woman to put the content up, I said, why'd you put it up? He said, in case something happened to me. I said, well, you could have put it up on private. Nobody seen it, right? But when you put it up, it's gonna be talked about.
Right.
Let me ask you this, based on that, Wack, because I feel like it was interesting when you called into the show when Luce was on there, right? It seemed like he kept flip-flopping about what he was actually mad at you about, and it seemed to me that whatever he was really mad at you about, if he was even really mad, it definitely wasn't what he was saying. It was a secret. So, like, just to make it clear, like,
what? No, like,
was it fake or was there something else he was mad about? Because it didn't make no sense.
He had no reason to be mad. He made something up, right?
He forgot mid-conversation what he was mad at you about a couple times, I remember.
Because he know that I'ma send him the content and he's gonna play it. I mean, here you go, play it.
So do you think what was really happening is that really, because he already knew that stuff was about to get deep, he was
I don't know if he knew that. I believe now that he was mad about the 600 stuff and him exposing about what the family said about the kid, right? I believe now, looking at it, that he may have known that he was caught up in the overall thing, right? I believe that's why he was a little bothered that 600 was pushing that issue about what the family was saying about the kid.
He seemed panicked. The way he was moving seemed
because bro, he said that they had already reached out to him. He would tell me things, but it didn't make sense to me, so I just disregarded, right?
Did you note that at a certain point in the podcast, and it really didn't take that long, Luce became so high that he was almost incapable of being involved in the conversation anymore?
No, because after I stopped,
he wasn't smoking. It was just from Brick Baby breathing weed in his face.
After I got off the line, I wasn't even watching anymore. It was just, the thing about it is like, yo, Adam, it's real shit. If I feel like I got something else to do and I want to go my way, I'm just gonna have a conversation with you. But I think what it was sometimes people set out to have a motive. And I understand that. I've been in the game too long. Everybody has a motive with something they're doing. Everybody has a motive. Could be a good one or a bad one. And I think that because I started to figure out other things that had nothing to do with this, he was using that as a reason to not have to talk to me. You gotta remember, let's just keep it real. I took Luce 13 months ago. Prior to me taking Luce, did you know who Luce Cannon was?
Yeah.
Right? I took Luce and set him on the side of me. When the light hit me, I made sure it hit him.
Yeah, I don't think I was that familiar with him before you brought him on the pod.
I didn't do it because I did a contract with you, right? I did it because I genuinely wanted to help you. So you didn't have to come up with some fake shit. Bro, if you say, yo, you want to go, handle your business. Because we've all seen this before. If you've seen this more than me, right? What is there now, it's a motherfucker to see if it's going to be there later standing on your own. I know because I went through it and I knew what I had to do to continue my climb up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? Like Vlad, you watched it. Last time Vlad seen me before we came back together, it was Ray J. Right? Ray J went another way. We still remain business partners, but he started doing other things. So I had to reinvent myself and go find new business and find another ladder to climb. So I know what it is, but it's just that I believe his thing was, let me tap into his resources. I introduced him to act. I brought him here a few times, right? He was asking me about Vlad. Vlad knows this because I was talking to him. He's like, Wack, get me on Vlad. But I understand when I say certain things to Vlad, if you know Vlad, you kind of read his body motion and you just leave shit alone. Because at that point, just tend to what you got going on with Vlad, right? So,
And I responded that he just has too much drama around.
Yeah, and I left it alone.
I just don't need to bring that into
But
my
I
house,
get it now because it's kind of like, can you trust it?
And he is a wise sage because probably a year ago, I said something on behalf of our good JCat friend, Spiderloak. Hey, Wack, Spiderloak thinks you got him banned. You should have him on. Wack said, or Vlad said, I'm cool. It's like,
it ain't gonna bring no
problem
substance to it.
It's no problem with Spiderloak, but it's just not really the kind of content that I want to do
and that's
right
real,
now.
because if we would have saw Spiderloak on Vlad, it would have been like Vlad lost Boardwalk and his ass is on Baltic. It's just real, right? So at the end of the day, we all doing things. You got extra things going on. Vlad, we definitely know you got going on. I got extra stuff going on. We all got extra stuff going on, but it just kind of makes it like when the next person reaches out for a little help, you kind of be like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, Wack, let me ask you this, because I've been knowing you as this legendary kind of behind-the-scenes figure throughout hip-hop for decades. I'll keep it real, I hadn't really heard much about Loose Cannon until he started hanging around with you.
That's a fact. That's just what's real.
But I knew very little about him until I've read this whole this criminal complaint, and I've become to know how close he was to Big U, knowing your relationship with Big U. Now I'm looking back thinking, how had you and him got so close considering that history?
They didn't become cool until Luce was no longer cool with. But he was.
How are you trusting a guy that was so cool with
up
Big U?
until like what, 2 years ago?
Nah, 2021, early 2021.
Okay.
I just helped him out. I looked out for him. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? So it was like, and I did a lot of cleaning up. I took a lot of hits doing that, but I didn't mind it. I felt like I seen that he wanted that. Some people like want that and they want to be that, and I know it only goes so far versus you understanding that. Understanding this game and wanting this game is two total different things. Because when you understand it, you know to keep your resources available. You don't burn no bridges, bro. Because you never know when you got to reach back that way or something's going to come at you, right? Amongst us, we got 100 different, what I don't got, he has. If he don't got it, he'll say, let me call Vlad. You know why? He don't mind calling Vlad saying, Wack's trying to get this done because we're cool, right? If he knew me and Vlad wasn't cool, to stop at him. So, that's people that understand the game. People that want the game, they'll do what it is just to gain. But your gain is going to be limited.
But do you feel like kind of taking somebody and putting on somebody that was so close to Big U and fell out, it's kind of a diss to Big U, right?
Nah, Big U that wasn't the thought.
Like if I took AD and put him on my channel now, that would be kind of a fuck you to Adam type shit. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of, do you feel like that was a move? Or was that
And if you blow him up, that's the ultimate flex.
But that's kind of what he's trying to do.
Which is kind of what he did with Luce, because nobody knew who Luce was. Because
I blew him up.
know who Luce
he was just
at
a
all.
thug to Big U,
Luce
right?
had been trying to do music and all kind of stuff for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? You can see his history of his work, his body of work, right? But I took and did what I did. I done did it with a lot of people. But I didn't, Big U wasn't even a figment of my imagination. It wasn't a thought. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna do this for Big U. I wouldn't have did it at that point in time.
Do you think that pissed him off to the next level though? Big U.
It probably did because Big U was used to me being his resource. And to see one of his underlings or somebody that he utilizes for something else, have me moving with him like that, doing some of the things I've done, it probably did, but that wasn't my thought. I'm doing this for Big U. I wouldn't have did it, because at that point, it ain't pure, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been genuine.
When you started bringing up the whole Christopher Lovejoy DNA story that everybody was talking about, right? Like,
he was only able to do that story because I set it up to be done.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is, like,
did you do that a lot, Trap?
Did you expect?
But hold on, Trap, you got to correct that.
No, let's go.
You do that a lot. You're a foreigner guy out there, and you be talking about our shit like you know what you're talking about. So if you was really watching it, Lovejoy didn't grab it until it was on the internet. So now you got to ask yourself, how did it get on the internet? Right? I knew I couldn't just let him talk about that because they were going to do what they're doing now. So I had to position it so it was on the internet.
So you put it on the internet, or you?
No, well, what I did is we have a segment on the 100 Side of Clubhouse called Murder Mysteries, and I simply sent the girl Tink from Chicago the newspaper clipping from 2021. She was oblivious, so she started running the murder mystery. She's good at it. She'll start reading and digging. She'll come up with all these rabbit hole type scenarios, right? And when she got to certain points of what it may have been, or what is this, or what it may have led up to, when she would break, I played a snippet from the audio we had from the family.
Yeah.
So the snippet I played first said, they found his DNA under my brother's nails. And they was like, okay, and I stopped it. And the floor is talking about, okay, well, that could have been whoever this person may have been. So they talk another 20 minutes, and like, well, who could the person have been? So I played the mother saying that they had to track down Big U for a year or so, and the feds forced him to give his DNA. So I know that these two people worked for Big U for years. He would know their voice, right? I have a media team in the goo. The media team took all that, chopped it up, put it on the internet. Once it got on the internet, 600 was able to grab it and do his spin on it.
But the question I really have around that, because that, I mean, there's a great way that you broke it down for us there, but were you surprised that Luce and them had such a serious reaction? Did you think that he was going to get wrapped up in this whole thing, or did you see it as a separate thing, this Big U situation? Because I was surprised that even Rick's getting wrapped up in it, right?
It was funny. One of my business partners called me. He doesn't even do social media, but he was watching that. I swear, he's out of Philly. He called me and said, "Hey, bro, I think your boy Luce has some ties to something." I blew it off. What are you talking about? Right? Because he was like real adamant about it. He kept calling. He like 600. I said, no, he's not. It's off the internet. Nah, man, that's the recordings we got of the family. Luce was on the phone. The recordings I got, Luce was on the phone the whole time. Right? The family been contacting him for a year, but he never reacted to it. Right? So when he seen that I wasn't stopping 600, and I told him he's covered because I made sure it got to the internet. I said, bro, we're warning him. 600 hates him, so he's having his fun, but we're warning him. I'm gonna be real. If somebody took my DNA a year or so ago, after a year, 18 months, I'm thinking ain't nothing of it. I'm not even thinking that my skin's under about a dude's nails. And I hear the family say they found his DNA under the nails. I hear that. That's gonna be alarming to me.
That did turn out to not be completely true though, right?
No, it was completely
From
true.
the complaint, it said that the DNA that was found, it couldn't confirm that it was Big U, but it couldn't rule it out too, whereas they could rule out the other individual, right?
No. I don't know where you saw that at.
I really saw it. It said that. It wasn't completely confirmed that it's Big U's DNA. That's what I'm saying, and there's still no...
Listen.
They said it was inconclusive or something like that, right?
So, do you want me to read it out?
Go ahead.
Read out.
Okay, so wait, the DNA profile. So DNA was connected from RW's ankle/sock area, consistent with the direction that RW was dragged into the desert off the highway.
Oh.
The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely due to the aforementioned inclinement on whether the due to the inclement weather on the night of the murder. So the weather and the way that the body was left overnight, I guess in the cold, in the wind or whatever, meant that the DNA profile wasn't able to be completed. So it says analysis of Henley's DNA profile, big U, was inconclusive, such that he could not be excluded as the contributor of the DNA, but it couldn't be confirmed. And Robinson, on the other hand, was excluded as a potential contributor of the DNA. So it wasn't confirmed, but it couldn't be excluded.
You know who Robinson is?
Robinson.
That's the driver.
Mm-hmm.
That's the driver who told them they drove to LA, picked the kid up, where they took him, and how he was killed. So when you got something that says you're not excluded, well, it could have been you, maybe not. But then you got the dude with you who gave DNA once they brought him in, Big U didn't know it. And they show, you didn't touch the body. That means he's identified Big U as a killer. That's who really told on it.
But all I'm saying is that, from what I understand, the DNA thing, to make the statement, Big U's DNA was found under his fingernail.
That's been running in the media a lot.
That's not been
I've been hearing
conclusively
that
proven
over
as true.
These mics are kind of sensitive, so you might want to pull it in a little more.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah, well, you got to remember, we didn't make.
They've been saying that as a
You got
headline
to
since
remember.
Wack started
You
talking
got
about
to
it.
remember, we didn't make the statement. We just played the recording.
But this is the thing. Do you feel like it's kind of overcooking Big U's involvement? Now, obviously, it's an open case. It's unresolved, right? But the headline of DNA found under fingernails is a little overshooting.
What's the difference in what you did?
Because this says it can't confirm it.
Listen, you know I'm allowing you to question me right now, right?
I appreciate it.
Because you did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right? And you're not here, right? It's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a screenshot of a page from the indictment.
That's cool.
Where Big
You
U
the
was
receiver.
recorded on a
You the
wiretap, basically
receiver.
saying that he punked you out with a whole bunch of people, and it had
No,
a
it was a
quote
receiver.
that he attributed to you,
Okay,
but it
well, hold
wasn't an actual video
Hold on.
or recording.
Hold on,
This was Big U's version
Hold
of events.
on. You're the receiver. So
Pause.
since you read everything, right? Tread lightly with this. Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you because I know what you was trying to do.
Okay.
So since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you gonna play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one thing?
What did you
Can I
find
say one thing in my
there
defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You went in the room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No,
that
you said
was
in
a
that
little bit
page.
added on.
You said in that page. So I'm
It's in that
asking
page.
you, just gonna let me know where you at with me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that and did you use your brain to understand why and why not? So I'm a dude that
yes.
just violated Big U like no other human being, right? Violated him.
For sure.
2-3 years, right?
That's such a claim to fame now that Big U's like the ultimate bad guy of LA.
No.
Him being able to say that he violated is like him saying he went up against Al Capone.
No.
lived to tell the tale.
No, you gotta remember, I don't see Big U the way y'all see Big U.
I know.
Big U done sat on my couch with his head down, scared straight in situations where he needed our help at. I don't see him that way.
Drop a comment down below the Adam Wack Show. Vlad, Adam, Travelor, Remo, premium content, Big U, all that. Y'all be sure to keep that notification bell turned on. I will deliver the content 24/7 around the clock. You already know. But until next time, it's your boy Ray giving I'm gone. God bless. Peace.